Yo, yo. mm, mm. What's happening, family? What's the deal? Mm. We had a session yesterday. Get this shared up real quick. All right. Pat, what's up? Good morning. I had a rough day on sleeper yesterday. Ooh. Mm. Damn. It's all right. Good bankroll management. Be right back the next day, right? Right back the next day, which is today. So, um, real quick, let's get the weather pulled up. All right. So you can't go without that. Um, First things you need to do be checking that weather, man. Checking that weather. Y'all already know. Let's get up to it. Let's get on to it. Let's get on to it. Okay. Uh, First game, that Minnesota, Chicago White Sox, 17. What we got? 17 games today. Two double headers. Um, Game one, any rain is going is long gone by first pitch. All right, any rain is long gone by first pitch. Um, the second game, Minnesota and Chicago White Sox, a few storms pop up early in the evening, but look to hold well west of the ballpark. Um, Chicago and Baltimore, a lot of storms move in during the game. Likely late, but it does stick around too long. But it doesn't stick around too long. So I expect they are able to finish up. Winds out to left at 15 miles an hour on a hot, humid day. Bump to bats, Chicago and Baltimore. Cleveland and Detroit. Looks like a looks like a looks looks a lot like last night in Detroit. There's rain, but it's never heavy, and I expect like last night they played uninterrupted through some sprinkles and showers. Winds out to center 10 miles an hour. Los Angeles Dodgers at Philly. The same storm line that moves into Baltimore will push towards Philly an hour or two later. But by that point, the game in Philly should be finished with. A low chance of late inning delay. More likely it comes after the game. Winds out the left center at 15 miles an hour on a hot, humid day. At night, bump to bats. Los Angeles Dodgers and Philly there. Oakland at Boston. Winds out to left at 10 to 15 miles an hour on a warm, humid night. Those warm, humid nights are good for baseball. Bats and shit like that. Um, okay, and then Washington and New York Mets. Winds out to left at 15 miles an hour on a warm, humid night. Y'all already know the deal. Colorado and Cincinnati. Winds out to left at 10, 15 miles an hour. Roughly a 5% chance of a pop-up shower causing delay. Kansas City at St. Louis. All the storms should stay north of St. Louis, tagging this as green-yellow. Just a reminder to myself to double check it before first pitch, but I expect that we're fine here, right? So I want to say that's probably the last game there. Patrick say one away from a big payday, and Kremer got crushed by the Cubs. Uh, Chose his fancy. Ooh, Kremer. I was saying he kind of iffy, but he did have K stuff. Didn't have it working yesterday. Santana, what up? Yo, now, I ain't even gonna lie. I overslept a little bit. But at the end of the day, I do a lot of my prep work the night before. I didn't even do it. I was tired when I came in. I was tired, man. Straight up. When I came in, I was tired like a mug. So we're gonna have to go through this shit. We're gonna have to go through this shit. You can stay, you can stay, you can leave, you can leave. We're gonna go through this shit. I'm gonna try to do it as fast as I could, but I don't want to make no mistakes and stuff like that. At the end of the day, so let's just figure it out, right? Um, I did semi go through a couple games, but we're gonna go through it. You know, it might be some people that chime in, it might not be some people that chime in. Hey, who cares, right? Um, who cares, right? So we gonna get this. We gonna get straight to it. Now, this first game, what I was looking at here, um, Kansas City Royals at at St. Louis Cardinals here. I did have some bets set to the side here for this one, so that'll probably save me a little time on this one now. Alec Burleson, like I said, I tell you guys, when I put bats over here, I do just put them over here just for a baseline, just for a hit, right? I will let you know if I like them motherfuckers to go boom or not, okay? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Royals and Cardinals, like I said, that first game, this is he said Patrick said a prop that I like is Spencer Steer home run versus Colorado, and we'll definitely get there because I haven't even looked through all this shit. So I'm gonna try to like just steer the ship, just go and y'all just chime in whatever y'all want to do. Now I already went through this first game, like I said, for hits wise here. Alec Burson looked good, right? Alec Burson looked good. I couldn't talk about for hit or anything like that. Wilson Contreras looked okay, and then I want to talk about some power, right? He's just, he hasn't been back from injury that long. The power is there, right? Along with, I didn't list him, but Goldsmith. The power is there. He's been hitting for power as of late. I can show you guys, but I don't want to waste no time right now. But the power is there, right? Bobby Witt, Green looked really, really good. Pasquantino is a guy who don't strike out. He don't strike out. So he's definitely in play for a hit like that, something like that. Last few weeks versus this pitch mix, Hunter Renfro looked good. And then, like I say, Salvador Perez got that power, right? So he looked okay versus the pitch mix at certain times. So, for that first game, those are some bats that I could consider. If I had to take numbers wise, Alec Burson looked better than anybody on the on the Cardinals, and then Bobby Witt, of course, looked better than anybody on Kansas City. Like I said, somebody who don't strike out, Vinny Pasquantino, hit guy, whatever the case may be, he probably go out there and hit a bomb. Pitching wise, I didn't really cap all the way off into pitching, but I do see instances where, you know, maybe, these guys can probably get a few hits and things like that, right? So there you have that. The next game was now this Minnesota Twins, so the double headers and stuff like that. I really don't look into a lot of these double headers and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we got Bailey Ober, we got Eric Fetty on the mound, right? I don't know how I really want to attack these. You know, I tell you, the lefties look really good versus Eric Fetty's pitch mix here. Not so much as the righties. We only got an 8 over under. Fetty been looking good, right? Over been looking pretty good as well. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I can show you guys. Um, let's see. At the end of the day, uh, to try to make things a little bit faster, I'll come right here. And if I wanted to attack these guys through bats here, I would definitely look at the lefties. That's how I will probably attack them. I just didn't pick anybody out right now, right? So at the end of the day, let's take a look. Let's go Eric Fetty. So, uh, so, um, So the lefties, over the course of at least the last month, the lefties are the ones that look a little bit better. Not now. Guys like Castro, he does have 24 at bats. He has the most at bats versus this pitch mix, right? But the K percentage is pretty down for pretty much down for all the lefties on the team. Okay. Now, sample size at bats, I would we probably be looking at Castro, Santana, and Kepler. For over the course of a month, these are the guys that have the most plate appearances versus that pitch mix. But as you can see, it's not a lot. Castro is the one who has the most, right? So he does have four extra base hits, four hard hit balls against this pitch mix. No home runs in that time span, though. You know what I'm saying? So, I would look at the 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 lefties here. Then you got guys that are just. I was looking at um, Byron Buxton on the right hand side as well. But at the end of the day, the lefties, the one that's popped up was more green. You know what I'm saying? More green than anything else. But like I said, the lefties, they are in play. Guys, I mean, the righties like Buxton and, those guys are in play. But I can't take away the fact that Eric Fetty is a pretty good pitcher, okay? So I can give you some Eric Fetty right, real quick, and we can keep it moving, right? I didn't even list none of these bats. I didn't like to list none of these bats. I just got a I got a strange feeling about it. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Maxwell Campbell? How you doing? I got a strange feeling about it. These bats, this game in general, it just got an under feel to it. So here's the splits, right? Fetty at home, 1.6 ERA. He looks pretty good though, man. I ain't gonna lie. At home versus lefties, he got a 198 batting average. At home versus righties, he got a 198 batting average. If he comes out here, I don't feel like losing any money, right? The game just didn't feel sexy to me. It didn't feel sexy to me. Now we do got a double header on this game, right? So we do got a double header, and that game will probably be coming right after it, right? Um, this double header, the next game will be the Twins and the White Sox would be Lopez and Thorpe on the mound. I probably would be looking at the strikeouts for. Why is it doing that? I probably would be looking at the strikeouts for Lopez in this one here. So now it's not even. Every time I click on it, it's not even showing me what is going wrong. Is FanDuel is FanDuel is FanDuel glitching or some shit? Like what the hell? Mm. Sorry, I could use DraftKings as a landing page, right? I could use DraftKings as a landing page for some lines. Let me make this a little bit bigger, real quick. One more step bigger, and let's go to picture props right here. Okay, yeah, let's use DraftKings for a landing page. Strikeouts, right? So right now they would have. Well, was there something going wrong with that game in general? Let me see. See, and then I wonder if it was a pitching change. Nope, nope. It's just acting up. So it is what it is. So I'll just use DraftKings for a landing page right now. All right. So at the end of the day, like I said, both of these games, if the pitcher stays the same, I would be looking at Lopez for strikeouts in some shape, form, or fashion there. So it is what it is, right? Um, Chicago Cubs at Baltimore Orioles. This is probably where I stopped at. Okay. So to speed through things a little bit, I'll go straight to the Baltimore side of things here. And you know what? First and foremost, we do know we got Corbin Burns on the mound. We do know he's good at baseball, right? So if you really think he's going to be in trouble, I don't like the righties versus him, right? I don't like the righties versus him. I would look at the left-hand batters, right, versus Corbin Burns. Or was it no? Or was it the righties? Let's check the righties. Let's check the righties. I think it was probably the righties, right? So let's see. Um, it might have been the lefties. What it was the lefties. He pitches good versus lefties, but what it was the pitch mix. A few of these bats over here in Chicago hit that pitch mix well. So he's throwing that cutter, curveball, and change up. The cutter, curveball, and change up, and he's throwing that cutter 50% of the time, right? So right off the bat, last 3 weeks, last 4 weeks, last month, whatever you want to call it, to the lefties, um, to right hand pitching versus this pitch mix. Guys, I just singled out Ian Happ. Uh, Only 14 plate appearances, but he does have a home run, two extra base hits, 6 hits versus this pitch mix. Hard hit is setting up there at 54.5%, but his K percentage is down versus this pitch mix in general. Uh, Reason why I like that is because Ian Happ will strike the fuck out, but he does have power to get it over the fence. So those are things that you can look at. Pete Crow Armstrong, not the best hitter, but versus this pitch mix and Michael Bush. Shout out to Michael Bush. Yesterday we was on Michael Bush and we was on Westberg and Gunner. So shout out to that. And Dinger Tuesday, I took Ramos Dinger Tuesday. He got there. Pow. But at the end of the day, yeah. So the lefties look better in general, but that don't mean I'm going to bet on them. You can't. You gotta take the pitching into consideration. And Corbin Burns is pretty good at pitching, right? But like I said, if he was to ever get hit, I would be looking at these lefties, even though he does pitch very well versus lefties, right? He gives it up to righties, right? So Corbin Burns taking a look at some of his splits. Uh, Take a look at some of the splits here, and you'll get a brief idea of how you can and how you might want to attack things, right? And I'm gonna just try to keep things just like this. So just check the splits, check the pitch mix, and boom, keep it moving, right? So this video can kind of like move fluidly. At home, ERA 1.78. Away, ERA, damn, why did it come? 2.9, right? 2.9 on the road, some shit like that. Yeah. So then looking at some of his advanced numbers, um, at home, he's looking good. I mean, he's looking good in general. He looks. I mean, at home 230 versus lefties, 240 versus righties. I'm not a big fan of this Chicago Cubs offense. They did get down yesterday, but I don't think they're gonna get down today. I ain't even gonna lie. But like I said, if I was taking any bats here, it would probably be a lefty. So I did pencil in Ian Happ. Am I gonna get there? Probably not. I just penciled them in. All right, I penciled them in right here. Right. If I'm gonna get there, I don't know. And then on the flip side here, we got Shota and Emiliana on the mound. Right. So right now, Shota, I was looking at those. I want to say I was looking at those righties. Right. I was looking at those righties. Now you got people that some bats that are pretty good at baseball. Right now he's throwing that fastball and that sweeper, the fastball 50% of the time, right? So that he's throwing that motherfucker a lot, right? So to give you guys a little context here, uh, so the lefties. In the last month, right here, Colton Cowser, he looks okay. He's got two bombs versus pitch mix with 11% K rate. Now versus this pitch mix, Cedric Mullins, Gunner, Henderson, and Heston KJ. Both of those guys, all three of those guys, strikeout percentage is high as hell, right? Very high, very high, right? Like I said, he's throwing that four seamer 50% of the time. Colton Cowser is a guy who have been getting a hold to it, right? So, he's somebody that you could probably look at if you really, really want to. I'm probably just going to end up fading those guys. You know what I'm saying? Last 3 weeks, uh, pretty much similar, right? But it just don't look extremely sexy to me. But if I had to get to a lefty, it probably would be Colton Cowser just over the course of the last 3 weeks, whatever the case may be. Didn't they, man? They fucked them right on up, man. I'm glad I took that home run for. I'm glad I took that home run for um, Westberg. I'm gonna go right back to the well to him today because I'm gonna show you what's getting ready for to happen right now. So at the end of the day, like the lefties, you know, I guess right, but the righties is the ones that I'm more inclined on, getting to. But like I said, you can't forget that um, some of these pitchers are just good at pitching, right? And Shota can be pretty good, right? So versus righty, Schultz giving up a 287 batting average, right? The four seamer and the splitter, probably pretty much the same pitch, right? But minus the sweeper, he just moves over to the splitter in that case, right? So the righties, right? So Jordan Westberg pretty much and Adley Rushman, they like right there, right? Like over the course of a month, not a lot of plate appearances though. See, Adley Rushman versus his pitch mix, and then at the end of the day, probably the splitter probably don't even matter, right? It's not a lot of pitchers that throw the splitter. So mainly what we're looking at is mainly that fastball, right? Because like I said, he's throwing that fastball 52% of the time. This team hasn't seen that splitter though. And that splitter, he's throwing that splitter like 40% of the time. So the splitter can really offset these guys because if I take the four seam down and then just leave the splitter up, they ain't even seen the splitter. They haven't. So it's mainly about the fastball. And what they'll have to do, they'll have to lamp on it, right? So overall, this just lets you know how good this team is versus the fastball. But the thing about that is they got to catch that motherfucker, right? Because just as well as he's throwing that fastball 50% of the time, he's throwing that splitter 40% of the time, right? So they're going to have to lamp on that fastball. If you think they can catch that fastball, Jordan Westberg right now over the course of the month is batting 444 versus that fastball. Um, Anthony Santander's cracking it. He's got 3 home runs versus that fastball. Um, Austin Hayes, I mean, James McCann, Ryan Mountcastle, then you got Adley Rushman. You know what I'm saying? Small sample size for Adley, but it is what it is. Small sample size, not these big of a sample size for these guys. That's just over the course of a month, right? So it's instances where you can be skeptical about how these bats are going to do. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of bats, not a lot of bat plate appearances. Over the last 2 weeks, like 3 at bats, 5 at bats, 4 at bats, like versus pitch mix, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the K rates has been looking good. So, it is what it is, right? So at the end of the day, I can't just single out one bat. Maybe I could go up to more like 6 weeks or something like that to try to get a better look at what these guys are doing overall, maybe 2 months or something like that. But if a professional baseball player, they should be able to hit a fastball either way it goes. So fastball is the one pitch that these guys will be looking for because, like I said, that splitter they haven't seen the splitter, right? So it's like pick your poison, whatever you want to do, man. Like you got Ryan Mountcastle and you have Anthony Santander and Jordan Westberg. These are the guys that have the most plate appearances versus their pitch. Jordan Westberg 18, Santana 15, Mountcastle 12. So uh, those guys, out of those guys that I just mentioned, all three of them got multiple home runs, right? So at least 2 or better. All right, so it is what it is in that sense. Okay, I didn't single out a bat there. Like I said, if I was looking at any bat, it would probably be. I mean, Jordan Westburg could be hitting out for me. I took him for a home run. He got there for me. So I probably would look at him. Anthony Santander can get streaky. If he hit one tonight, you can start looking for him to hit home runs in within a week span. That's how he does it. He'll start hitting them. He'll start hitting them. Adley Rushman, he's a guy that can get pretty hot too. Hayes too. You know what I'm saying? That just makes those lineups dangerous because McCann, Hayes, Mateo, Urias, those guys will be down there in that 7 and 8 slot. And so you just got constant pressure looming against you. Then you want to look at splits. So first of all, this can be an end all. not an end all be all, but this can help you figure out which way you really want to go. Westberg, that's my guy, right? So if you like in a tie with some of these motherfuckers and you don't know which way you want to go, I'm looking at splits at home, right? I already know what to do, right? But I think he faced a lefty yesterday, a righty yesterday, I want to say. Now today he's facing a lefty. So yesterday I was all over him, right? We went over this shit yesterday. Yesterday he faced a righty at home. His batting average versus righty at home was 336. His slugging 557. His OPS was his isolated power was 221, and his WRC plus was 165. That's really 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 good. Now at home versus lefties, he's batting 294. Um, OPS is 892, and his isolated power is 265. A little bit more power, a little less OPS, batting average is a little bit lower, right? So it is what it is. All in all, at the end of the day, what all these numbers indicate is he's better at home than he is on the road. Because on the road versus lefties, he's got a 188 batting average. On the road versus righties, he's got a 258 batting average. Both of those batting averages are higher at home. So at the end of the day, he's got home and away splits, right? So, it is what it is. He's got some weird home and away splits. Next, you want to probably look at who was the next guy was Adley, right? Adley at home versus lefties. You might want to take a look at that, right? Because his numbers at home versus lefties might look a little bit more sexier, right? So So this is interesting because he's better versus lefties in general, right? So look, at home versus lefties, he's batting 372. At home versus righties, he's batting 214. That's why splits can be interesting, real interesting. His on base percentage at home versus lefties is 417. His slugging is at 605. OPS is at over 1,000. Isolated power is sitting at 233. His WRC plus is at 186. That's at home versus lefties, right? On the road versus lefties, he's hitting them harder at 418. He's got a 418 batting average, right? With better numbers all the way across the board. So at the end of the day, when you look at numbers in general, let's just look in general. He's got a 400 batting average versus lefties and versus righties. He's got a 233 batting average. In general, he's just better versus lefties. Does that mean he's going to do something today? Hell no. But those are the numbers, right? Those are the numbers, right? Those are the numbers, right? It is what it is, right? So, you know, that's how you might want to break all the time. So me, I'm starting to look at his numbers. I'm starting to like him a little bit more better right now, right? And then the next person was who the fuck was it? Santander, right? Santander, it's hard to put a read on his numbers, his splits and stuff like that. I ain't even gonna lie. It's hard to put a read on his splits. I ain't even gonna lie. But like I said, all this stuff, then you still got to take in consideration the pitcher, how good these pitchers are. Because it don't, sometimes that shit don't matter. Sometimes that shit don't matter because you get a good pitcher up there and just whiff all that shit. Now, Santander's numbers never look sexy, but right now, this is probably one of his favorite splits. As I can see, at home versus lefties, he's got a 353 batting average. That's probably like 100 or at least 80 higher than all of his averages, as you can see right here. So this is his best split. The only thing about that right now, he's got a 30% K rate, meaning he will strike the fuck out. His batting average, like I said, is 353. Slugging is at 765, meaning he will take your ass deep, right? 11, you might as well say 1,200 OPS with a 412 isolated power, good for 225 WRC plus, right? So, if I will tell you this, if this was a weak ass pitcher, I would be all over these guys. I'd be all over them. I'll be all over them. So what I got to do now? Now I got to say, hey, I got to look at Shota, right? I got to look at Shota, see if I can find some flaws in the system. I got to see if I can find some flaws in the pitcher. I got to look at the pitcher now. I got the bats who I like versus I got the bats who I like. I already know who the fuck I like. I got the bats, right? Now I need to see what he's doing, right? Now I gotta see what he's doing. He said Santana sold me 100K yesterday. Damn, man. I hate to hear that, bro. I hate to hear that. Man, I don't know if you were watching then, but did you at least go to did you at least go to Westburg? Cause that's what I was on, bro. And I took him. No, yeah, I took him for a bomb, but I took Ramos for my Dinger Tuesday. Either way it go, let's take a look, right? So in general, he's got a 25% K rate, 24% K rate to lefties, righties, whatever the case may be. Batting average, he's tad bit pitching a tad bit worse in general to righties, right? 243. Splits. On the road. I heard Westbrook, but didn't take him for a bomb. I had Turner and Ramos. Okay. Yeah, Turner. Turner went crazy, and Turner was popping. I didn't even say nothing about him, man. So that's why it's important. That's why it's important to go over this shit, right? We go over it. I ain't just trying to shove shit down your throat. It's important to go over this shit. It's important to go over it, and you'll get it down packed just like riding a bike. Uh, but you had some nice ass picks there, boy, to miss for on 100,000. Sure. So right now, on the road, Shota, his numbers don't look too bad, right? K percentage goes down a little bit. Uh, the walk percentage versus righties go up a little bit. Um, hmm. Batting average, I mean, hmm. Mm, it's interesting. It's interesting, right? It's very interesting. Um, I don't know, man. He got to be careful with that fastball. So, like I said, sometimes you can get mixed up in the numbers a whole lot. But like I said, he's throwing that fastball over 50% of the time. He had better be careful with it. He's a great pitcher. He's a good pitcher. Um, he's a good pitcher. Um, but they got some good batters over here, right? So I'm a little neutral on the situation. I'm a little neutral on the situation. Um, I might look at these guys for maybe baseline hits, whatever the case may be. As far as a side, I would probably have to lean towards Baltimore. I would probably have to lean towards Baltimore. I get a lean to the Baltimore bats. I get a lean. Can I say I give the lean to the Baltimore pitcher, Corbin Burns? I can easily say that, but um, I could easily say that, but as an overall team and everything, yeah, I get a lean towards Baltimore in this one, man. Anything can happen. I don't bet a lot of games. I did do a parlay yesterday, and Baltimore fucked it up, straight up. And I bet them 1.5 straight. They fucked that up too. So it is what it is, you know. Westbrook Adley. I'm gonna add these people to the player pool right here and just leave it there, right? At least for a baseline hit, right? Now, my attention has shifted to Adley, right? I don't know, man. Adley looks good. Adley looks good. I don't know, you know. If I take Adley, if I bet on all three of those guys to hit a home run, if one of them hit a home run, I can still be profitable. You feel me? So, and that's what I do. Well, sometimes I'll take the DraftKings combo, take two of them in the combo, and bet one of them on the side. Like I did yesterday. Came out profitable doing that yesterday too, man. Uh, it's like you're getting a package deal. Oh, let me add Santander. Let me add Santander. couldn't even go through this last night, man. I came on from work. I was exhausted, man. I came in from work. I was exhausted, man. Straight up. This is a real time consuming, man. This is real time consuming. Real time consuming. If you don't got the time to cap this shit, man, it's ugly. If you don't got the time to cap it, it's ugly. All right. Next game we're gonna talk about. We're gonna go through. This one is a doubleheader. No, this ain't no doubleheader. Try to speed cap this one here. Guardians and Detroit Tigers, right? So let's just use this for the rest of the day, okay? Um, we're gonna take a look at Reese Olson. Fastball, changeup, slider. So he's pitching his worst to lefties right off the back. I already see that. Um, they got a lot of lefties over here. They got a lot of lefties over here, man. So let's take a look at Reese Olson real quick. And they are at home. Mm, looks pretty good. Um, so um, he's got some weird splits. Okay, at home versus lefties, he's got a 333 batting average. How I don't fucking know. And then on the road, he's got a 280 batting average versus right hand batters. Right. So I don't know how does that at home. He's at home versus lefties today. I need to look at his game log and see who could have probably tore his ass up. Right. So at home lately, earned 2 home runs there. Washington, okay, five, 4 home runs. Lefty, C.J. Abrams probably could have got to him. Milwaukee, of course, Terang, Yelich, those boys could have got to him at home. Toronto, well, no lefties over there. No unruns in that one. Kansas City Royals, uh, Texas. Don't know who could have got lately. I can see who got to him lately. Like I said, this probably versus Washington, and then versus Washington at home. Versus that was CJ probably, and then Yelich and Terrain them boys probably. Let me take a look. Right, I bet you, that's what happened there. I ain't even got to take a look, tell you the truth. So he's pitching his worst versus lefties right now, and that's one of this team's here strengths right now would be the lefties, right? Going up against Cleveland. So looking at his pitch mix here, over the course of the month, Jose Ramirez hadn't been looking that good for hitting for average, but he does have 3 extra base hits and 2 bombs, 2 home runs versus that pitch mix. Josh Naylor is the one, right? Josh Naylor has 6 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 17% K rate over the course of 41 plate appearances and then 15 hits. So definitely, Will Brennan, 9 hits out of 21 bats, 3 home runs, 8% K rate, like 14% barrel rate, like Will Brennan and Josh Nader looks good. And couple that with the fact that he did just go ballistic yesterday, we can go into stride with him looking hot, right? So first and foremost, I'm definitely going to add these 2 guys. Stephen Kwan is just good at baseball. We already know Jose Ramirez is good at baseball as well. The two guys that's sticking out to me right now over the course of the last 4 weeks is going to be Brennan and Josh Naylor. Moving forward, last 3 weeks, Josh Naylor, where is he? Still looking pretty good. 12 hits out of 33 at bats. Still same shit. K percentage is going down a little bit more. Bo Naylor creeping into his brother creeping into the fold there in the last 3 weeks. Will Brennan still looks solid, and Angel Martinez looking pretty solid as well. Okay, all these guys' K percentage are down, very low. 5%, 7%, things of that nature. So that's really, really good when it comes to the strikeout category. You know what I'm saying? You don't want batters striking out like that. Oops. Um, Still within the last 2 weeks, Josh Naylor still looks pretty good, and mm, so Buddy must be hurt. I forgot his name. He must be hurt. Angel Martinez was still looking okay, but Buddy must have got hurt. But Josh Naylor for sure, and Ramirez just got to be, he's got to be an honorable mention. No matter what the numbers say for Ramirez, he's still, he's still, he's still gonna be one of those guys, right? So, if I just had to take one bat here, um, um, looking at these guys, would definitely be Josh Naylor there. So he's gonna have to go to he's gonna have to get on the list, right? Um, we can definitely take a look at fact check a few things to make sure if you think it's all the way to go. So Josh Naylor, um, he's got a batting average of 258 versus right hand pitching, right? 137 WRC plus. I mean that's okay. On the road versus righties, his batting average goes down a little bit. Um, Power is still there. Isolated power is still there. 246. Isolated power is still there. He's got some weird looking splits, man. Um, home versus home versus righties, he hits righties a little bit better at 293. So I mean, I can get down with it. I can get down with it. Even for a hit or something like that, he's definitely going to be on the radar though. Then we can look at Tyler. We can look at the other side, right? Now, Bybee, I think he's pretty fastball heavy, right? And if he's pretty fastball heavy, I think, and I know that Riley Green, that motherfucker sold yesterday. He did get a hit though, so he saved that. I was one off, man, one off. I had a 6 leg parlay. I was one off from a nice payday, man. I was one off. So Bobby on the road, he pitched a little bit better, right? 2.7 ERA versus 4.69. Um, Numbers here. Um, Strikeout percentage, he got really good K stuff, okay? 27% K stuff to lefties, 30 to righties, right? On the road, 24% K percentage to lefties and 33 to righties, right? That's pretty good. On the road versus righties, pitching is worse to lefties, right? That's a problem. That's a problem. It's a semi problem. That's a 282 batting average versus lefties on the road, right? Now, that screams that screams Riley Green, right? So let's go over here to Detroit, and let's take a look at who the fuck was that? Oh, Tanner Bybee, Bibby, whatever. Um, Yeah, so he's pretty fastball heavy. 45% of the time he's throwing that fastball, followed by the slider and the changeup, right? Uh, so, um, as you can see, and when you're doing it so long, you're gonna start learning this shit by heart, right? When you start doing this shit so long, you're gonna learn by heart. So, Coach Keith pointed out Coach Keith yesterday. What does he do? Go yard. What did I do? Didn't play it. Riley Green looked really good right now. Now, um, 50 at bats, 15 hits, whatever case may be. Over the course of a month, Coach Keith has been on fire. 300 batting average versus pitch mix, um, 8 extra base hits, 5 home runs, 10 hard hits, da 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 da. Right, 18% K rate. That looks pretty good. Riley Green, 50 plate appearances over the last month, 16 hits, 320 batting average. Everything looks pretty good. Isolated power up, 5 extra base hits, and um, three bombs, right? So he does have a 28% K rate in that time span. Going back down to the last 3 weeks, just to take a quick little dive, quick look. Adrian Kinney said baseball is getting wild, always wild before football. Yeah, it is, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love this shit, right? Because I love it. Winsell Perez into the chat, right? 293 batting average, 11% K rate. Gotta love that. Riley Green K rate is going up, but it still looks good. 289 batting average, 3 extra bases, and a bomb in the last 3 weeks. Like I said, versus pitch mix is batting 289. Koki still batting 270 versus this pitch mix, right? Still got 4 home runs in that time span. Okay, so it is what it is, right? Those are some of the bats that I'll be looking at right there. Riley Green, Perez, and Coke Keith, right? Last 7 days, some of the bats that stand out right now. Parker Meadows, he's 375. Zach McKinstry betting 400 at the end of the day, But there's a few guys that can strike out too. So um, when you're looking at the strikeouts, we can filter this to right hand batters here, and then see what the righties are doing because you do want to look at if you're betting on strikeouts, you do want to see what this team does as a whole, right? So he's still throwing the fastball 40% of the time, followed by the slider and the curveball, right? So you would probably want to take this changeup down, add the curveball and the fastball in, and then probably want to stretch it back out and we'll see what they do, right? So all this in red right here. That's why it's going to be important to check the lineups to see who's in the lineups. As you can see, guys like Matt Vierling and Rogers, and see if these guys are in the lineup. Ibanez, all these guys in the red, 30% K rate. These guys will be getting their ass struck out once or twice, right? And they look terrible versus the pitch mix, right? They're just not hitting. They're just striking out, right? Most of them, all right? Carson Kelly looks okay. Tell you the truth. Carson Kelly looks okay. Um, but I don't know if I'll be going there. But he does look okay. That's one righty that looks okay. Um, but over the course of you bringing the time down, he doesn't strike out at 12.5%. So you could probably look in for a hit or something like that. But I won't be going there. It's looking like those lefties for me, right? So those are the guys that I'll be looking at on that side, right? So it's a lefty lefty thing, right? Um, we those are the same bats that I had pointed out yesterday. All three of those guys like fastballs, so you can look at those guys, right? Riley, let me see. Um, then I got to go in and add them in my player pool and all this shit. Riley, hmm, that'd be hard if I had to pick one. I don't know. It might be Cole Keith. Might be Cole Keith because Cole Keith's been on fire. Just went a yard yesterday. And I said I was going to take him, but I was undecided, man. I'll list Riley and Cole Kiefer right now. They need he stay hurt, man. What's his name? Not Kerry Kittles, but Kerry. That motherfucker stay hurt, man. They need him. Look at Cole Keith been on fire. He got 2 hits. He got 2 hits at one, two, three, four, five. 5 of his last 7 games, he got 2 hits, man. Straight up. He been on fire, man. He been on fire. Um, so next game we can look at. Yeah, okay, so damn. And I told y'all yesterday, I don't give out those motherfucking bats, right? So I don't give out those Seattle bats, but we went right over it. It was Rayleigh and it was Riley. You could have bet both of them and hit, right? At least for a bomb. It was Rayleigh and Riley, right? Whoever it was, that motherfucker went out hit 2 home runs yesterday. So right now, I don't even know who was pitching or whatever the case may be. So right now, we already know Seattle is one of the most strikeout teams in the league. So we definitely looking at Michael King's strikeouts. Miller, what we know about Miller, what we supposed to know about Miller, he trash on the road. He trash on the road, right? So let's take a look at Miller right now. And the more you research this shit, the more you know this shit, right? You know this shit by heart, and you'll notice changes. Like, uh, you'll notice changes. Like, okay, he used to be bad on the road. Now he's getting good. All this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Baseball is a roller coaster, up and down roller coaster. They play so many games. Play so many games. So at home, 2.10 ERA. Away, 6.2 ERA. Right? That's great. I mean, I ain't gonna say that's great, but that's what we want. That's what we're looking at. Now I'm gonna start recommending some of these Padres bats, right? Because I was skeptical about him yesterday because it was good pitching, Logan Gilbert. Now, um, we're on the road. Um, he's been getting he could some. I think his last start, I think it was a little bit better, but he's got a 250 batting average to both sides, right? K percentage is down, right? So his 10% K percentage to lefties. So I would definitely look at lefties because he's not striking lefties out. So at home versus lefties, he's got 30% K rate. At home versus righties, 30% K rate. That's hella good. But on the road, 10% K rate to lefties. Home run per nine, 3.2. Ooh, right? XFIP 601. It's like not good, right? Then a league average 20% K rate to righties. So what I want to do real quick, I want to look and see, right? I want to look at this game log. So on the road, so at Miami, he gave up 2 home runs, 6 earned runs, right? At Baltimore, at home, look, he pitches worse on the road, man. At home, he gave up 2 earned runs to Baltimore, 2 earned runs to Minnesota. On the road, Miami tore up. They fucked him up, right? Six earned runs. Cleveland, he did okay, right? 2 earned runs. Then he goes to Kansas City Royals. They fucked him up. Hit him, give 7 earned runs, right? 7 earned runs. Then at home versus Houston, 2 earned runs. Blanked the Angels, blanked them. Then went on the road to the Yankees. Bam, give him 5 earned runs on the road to Baltimore. 5 earned runs on the road to Houston. 4 earned runs on the road to Texas. He did okay. The first 2 home games he did okay. So it's definitely real, right? The trends is definitely real. Let me see something real fast, fam. 1 second. Right? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through the whole slate, man. But I might start coming on here earlier, like 8 a.m., like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., and just go through the whole thing every single day as a squad when I have that time. And come in at night and drop that little bomb. Come in at night and drop that little bomb. What I see right off the bat, off the naked eye, which generally is pitching props, right? You want to get to those early. I don't know why I didn't get to my pitching props early last night. So anyway, go though, he's pitching his worst on to the lefties, right? And that's what we probably want to target. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to just filter some out, we can come right here and we can take a look, right? So, okay, he's throwing that fastball like boy, 45% of the time. Uh, 8 extra base hits, 3 home runs on that motherfucker. So it is what it is. Um, okay. Um, hmm. All right. So first, this pitch mix, right? Um, hmm. So yeah, he said profile, profile. Yeah. So as of late, definitely profile, right? So and we'll get to that. So let's see. Um, hmm. Cronenworth, right? And 28 at 21 at bats, 8 hits. He doesn't have a blind, got an extra base hit, but he looked pretty good, right? 8K percentage is down. That's what you like. That's what you like, right? Over the course of a month, that's what you like. Uh, hmm. Um, we can bring it in a little bit closer here to, uh, let's see. Hmm. Cronenworth looks better. Cronenworth looks better, right? So we know Cronenworth is somebody we're going to pretty much like at the end of the day. Last 7 days, right here, as you can see, profile, he's got a 250 batting average. Last 7 days, he's got 2 bombs versus this pitch mix. What that pitch, it probably had to be the four seam fastball because I can start eliminating pitches like this sweeper, right? Let me see. Like, it's not a pitch that people will see that often. You know what I'm saying? But he's throwing that. Uh, oh no, so I had to add in. I missed the pitch. The sinker. That's the one I'm supposed to add in at first. It was the sinker. So let me take the sinker down. So when I add the sinker, you can see Jackson Merrill. This is a pitch that he's been hitting lately. He goes from a 174 average to let me add the sinker in. A 333 average. So he been catching that sinker. Jackson Merrill been catching that sinker. He been looking for that sinker. He been catching it, right? And he's throwing that sinker only 11% of the time. So the scouting reports and all that shit gonna have them pitchers thinking like, hey, I got to try to keep the sinker away from Jackson Merrill. I got to keep this pitch away from Dude. I got to keep this pitch away from Dude. That should be crazy, but it is what it is. He's gonna have to go out there and do what he have to do. So Jackson Merrill definitely in play for those purposes. Um, the closer we get to like a week or so, and the 2 weeks, and like 1 week and shit like that, guys like profile do start to pop. Like I said, whatever pitch that was, that had to be the four seam fastball. He had them 2 home runs against. So and then, like I said, he's throwing that four seam fastball 45% of the time. 45% of the time, if we just think these batters are just going to lamp, we could just actually funnel it to the four seam fastball. And who's been doing the best versus that four seam fastball has been somebody like Cronenworth. But profile, he's got 2 bombs versus it. Uh, Jackson Merrill's got a bomb versus it. The K rate is up there for somebody like Jackson Merrill, but those are the kind of consequences that you got to live by. You know what I'm saying when it comes to this situation here. Um, for the right hand batters, um, you can definitely look at. I think he's throwing similar to the same stuff. Yeah, um, the fastball, the sinker. You know, um, those are probably the two highest thrown pitches that he's throwing. And over the course of the month, um, he's only got a 20% K rate over that on that pitch. So Manny Machado, he looks pretty good. 26 at bats, 11 hits. Solano, 25 at bats, 8 hits. Uh, uh, um, Machado's batting 423 versus that pitch mix. So he's somebody that you could definitely look at, right? Um, Definitely you could look at Machado there. Last 3 weeks, Machado looked extremely good. 524 batting average versus that pitch mix. Solano 300 is going up a little bit. So K percentage is down. So I'll definitely be looking at Machado, and I'll be looking at Machado as well, right? That's over the course of a month, 3 weeks, whatever case you want to be. Even the last 7 days, Machado still's hitting that pitch mix. Solano still hitting that pitch mix. So those are some guys that you could look at right there, right? So um, they will be at home. Definitely want to look at Machado real quick. So he's batting 271 versus righties. In general, um, at home versus righties, about the same, 278. Isolated power is down. What up? What up? Said isolated power is down. Like, isolated power is down, right? Don't mean he can't take your ass deep. Don't mean he can't take you deep. So that's one of his best splits versus righties. K percentage, mm, league average. So that's pretty good. So I like him. I like him. Those are two guys that we can add to the hit list. Shit like that, right? Um, Machado. Um, I forgot who else said. Who else said Machado? Um, Solano, Jeffrey Lanier. What are you talking about? Hitting, home runs, or pitching? All three, whatever. All three. John Burger said good info player. Oh, no problem, man. I do this every single day. Y'all already know this. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Today was just I usually knock half of it out before I come in for work at night. I wasn't able to do that. I might not be able to finish this one. I might sit on here for another 30 minutes with y'all. But today is not a day that I got my shit together. I don't. But I do. I want people to learn. You say I probably sitting too far from it. I do want motherfuckers to learn. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! Golly. Um, oh shit. Oh, and we said Profar, Merrill, and Cronenworth, right? Profar, Merrill, and Cronenworth. I probably was sitting too far away. Can you hear better now? Um, so strikeouts. We already know. What we do know is this team is one of the highest strikeout teams in the league. We could definitely take a look at. We could definitely take a look at Michael King real fast. um, take a look at. Okay, I played 2, 3 home run parlays. Who you see that can go yard today? I went through a few of them already. Like I said earlier, um, let me see. So what y'all missed, or what you probably missed, was I'm telling you right now. Numbers wise, Alec Burson looked good for St. Louis. Wilson Contreras, the power is there, and then I didn't add I didn't add Goldschmidt. He's hitting for a lot of power as late, right? Sometimes the pitch mix and the numbers don't line up, but you can still see the power numbers, right? The power is still there. So Goldschmidt, Wilson Contreras, those boys in power and play because they still the power is there, right? Alec Burleson, his the pitch mix, he lined up pretty good, and I think he has 3 home runs versus that pitch mix in that time span. Bobby Witt Jr. looks really good, right? He was green. Um, Vinny Pasquantino, he doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he don't strike out, right? So, you know, it is what it is. Arenado is just Arenado is good at baseball, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty cool. I didn't really add him. I seen the power though. It must have been the pitch mix, but I seen the power on the line for for uh, Goldsmith and Contreras, right? And since Contreras, you gotta go off a little bit of past knowledge for Contreras because he was hurt a long time. Hunter Renfro looked pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And Salvador Perez for power, he looked okay, right? Versus that pitch mix. Uh, if you just had to take a bat for versus Corbin Burns, it would be a lefty. The lefty that looked pretty good was Hap. It would be a lefty because the lefties on the Chicago Cubs pitch mix, they hit that pitch mix, but Corbin Burns pitches his best to lefties. So ain't no guarantee that these Cubs bats can even touch this motherfucker, right? Because you got to take pitching into consideration. So Hap looked good, but I probably won't bet him, and that's my team. Um, Westberg, few lefties look good. And if you just want somebody that's hot, we was on Bush yesterday. Bush went yard. Sometimes hot batters can just trump shit. So Bush could very well be in play. Westberg, Adley, Santander, right? Man, I went to bed thinking Westberg. He hit a bomb for me yesterday. And I woke up thinking Adley. Adley looked good. Then you got Santana. Santana looked good. I tell you about Santana. If he hit one today, you can look at him to get back hot. Once he hit one, he usually got 2 or 3 coming behind him within a week or 10 days span. But those guys all look okay for a bomb. The thing you got to take pitching into consideration. Shota is a good pitcher, but what I was probably going to do, like I said, I was going to combo these two, any two of these guys for a bomb, and the two that I don't combo, I'm going to bet it straight. So if I go on DraftKings and they got that Westberg and Adley together, okay, I'm going to bet it. And then I'll take Santander straight. So if one of those guys hit a home run, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it. But I might get a Santander for a plus 400 on the straight. So what I'll probably do, I'll look and see what I get the highest odds for the home run out of these three, and I'll bet that one straight and try to combo the other two on DraftKings, some shit like that. Say the Cubs looking like they losing this game. Then he says Bellinger. Yeah, so the lefties, you know, but like I said, Burns, he's pitching his best to lefties. So a bomb, anybody can give up a bomb. Anybody give up a bomb. Um, Cubs batters overall really don't hit home runs. I hate taking Cubs batters for home runs. The Cubs do hit singles and doubles. Right. So at the end of the day, like I said, I don't really, I'm not, Cubs is my team. It's probably my least bet on team. But one of the batters that I do know that will hit a bomb would be who I had up there, and that's uh, Ian Happ. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Um, Cole Keith, we was on him yesterday. He hit a bomb. Riley got a hit. These guys here, he's going up against a fastball heavy pitcher. This is what they do. This is what they hit, right? So Riley Graham and Cole Keith. Cole Keith has been really, really hot over the month. He versus that pitch mix, he's got 5 home runs versus that pitch mix, not versus that pitcher versus what he throws. Riley Green's got like 3 of them, right? So Riley Green is in play. Oh, Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor, he didn't stick. Let me put Josh Naylor up there. He was probably my favorite, if not one. He was one of, if not my favorite bat from that game. But you could look at, you could look at all of them. He could be heating up right now. We went over that already, though. We went over that already. All right. Like I said, I wasn't prepared today. I wasn't prepared today, and it takes a lot. Going through these games, it takes a lot. What I was getting ready to look at, I was getting ready to look at so at home, right? Um, Michael King got a 33% K rate to lefties, 33% K rate to righties. So you know the deal, right? You know what's gonna happen. The motherfucker's about to strike out, and I'm about to take his strikeouts. I ain't even worried about his regular line. I'm gonna take it up a little bit. Looking at the K percentage, right? For this team here, for Seattle, 32. Look at the blue. 32, 26, 28, 30. He might not be in the lineup. 31, 27, 32, 27. Like all this blue, the K percentage, that's bad, right? Um, like that's bad. Like you already know, right? Like versus right hand pitching on the season, um, they are number one in strikeout percentage at damn near 30% for the whole damn season, right? For the whole damn season. Last 30 days, Seattle 31%, 97 WRC plus for the whole damn season, man. It's just crazy, right? So we'll be looking at taking his strikeouts over. I could add him to the mix. Now remember, I remember yesterday gave out. We pointed out Radley. I'm being biased, talking about I'm not playing none of the Seattle bats. I pointed out Rayleigh. I pointed out Riley, and that motherfucker hit 2 home runs. So don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? It's I have to point out what I like. I'm gonna point out what the numbers say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna point the shit out, but I might not play it. I'm gonna tell you right off the back if I'm gonna play it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I had no intentions on playing anybody. So his strikeout prop sitting at 6.5, which he's 6 for 18 versus this, on the season right here. Michael King is 6 for 18, but as you can see, he does have the upside, right? So Milwaukee, somehow he gave the ass 10 Ks. Dodgers, he gave him 11. Colorado, he gave him 7. Miami, he gave him 7. Oakland, he did what he's supposed to do, gave him 12. Milwaukee, he liked to strike Milwaukee ass out. He gave him 8. So the worst strikeout team in the league he's getting ready to face, the worst strikeout team in the league. He's in a ladder spot. I mean, it is what it is. Pitching outs, right? His pitching out sitting at 17 and a half. He's hit this number 8 of his last 18 games. I think he can get there versus this team, right? So I'll be looking at him for his pitching outs. I'll be looking at him for his strikeouts. And if you think he's going to get a win, then you can take his win, right? You get a win from him at a plus 139, right? He's got a win. He's hit this. He's got the win in 6 of his last 18 games. I don't bet a lot of games, but if I think they're going to win this game, then you can get the win, right? You can get the win at plus 139. Okay, so those are ways that you could target him, and you know what I'm saying. Those are ways that you could target him, right? So it is what it is. Right now, FanDuel was glitching. Let's see what they're doing. It keeps saying page not found. Like, what the fuck? Is anybody else FanDuel doing that? I don't know, right? What the hell? What's going on with that? It's been saying that all morning for me. Every time I click on something, let's click on the parlay builder. Uh, okay, that's working. What about it's just glitching for me. It's not. It's not. Anytime I click on any game, it's acting up. It's been acting up. It's been acting up. So, Don said, let him check. I could go over here though. I can run a quick check on the. So let's see. Let's see what where we at with Michael King and these other batters. I can't. I just can't. I can't with these other batters, man. I can't. I cannot. Right. So he's pitching his worst to lefties, right? Um, he's pitching his worst to lefties at home. He's got a 272 batting average. And Michael King, he throws this off the. I think it's some off the wall ass pitch too, man. I want to say it's some off the wall ass pitch. Oh no, it ain't. It's that. Okay, it ain't. Change up four seam sinker. Change up four seam sinker. So look at all that red, like strikeout city. You know what? I don't even want nothing to do with these motherfuckers. To tell you the truth, I don't want nothing to do with these motherfuckers. Rarely though, the last week that might have been the bomb. Oh no, the last week, Rayleigh is batting 333 versus this with two extra base hits and a bomb. He's a lefty, right? So he's somebody that you look at the last week, right? Let's see, last 2 weeks here. Um, last 2 weeks. I guess, man. Look at all that red, man. I'm looking at them for strikeouts, man. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck how many home runs he hit. I'm looking at them for strikeouts. Next game. Next game. Next game. Next game. Next game. So I'm looking at that one for strikeouts. Um, I got a few more minutes with y'all, man. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn, got a lot of games. I couldn't even get through the games for y'all, man. I couldn't even get through the games for y'all. What I could do, what I could do is, fuck it, man. Let's just roll like this. Tomorrow I'll be 100% prepared, man. I just was tired last night. I was tired last night. Um, Rice, we was on Rice yesterday. I took his hits, runs, and RBIs. Boom, he hit a bomb. So, who the fuck is that pitching? Oh, that's Eflin. Okay, because I'm tripping, right? Okay, let's look at Eflin. Mm. So, um, Ben Rice. So we going right back to the well. Um, President's pitch mix, 381 batting average, 476 isolated power, 4 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 9% K rate. Yes, please. You know what I'm saying? Trent Grisham, he's been hitting that pitch mix as well. He does have 2 bombs versus that. If he's in the lineup, he'll probably be hitting around the 6, 7 hole, something like that. 8, 6, 7, 8 hole, whatever the case may be. But yeah, looks like Ben Rice, Verdugo, Kentucky off Verdugo. He's got 2 bombs in that time span. Last 7 days, they've been pretty good, right? So last 7 days, if you want to look at that, Ben Rice, Verdugo, Soto, all been looking good versus that pitch mix. Okay, so Trent Grisham as well. So Eflin might be in some trouble. Okay, um, Eflin, let me just go through this shit, bro. Eflin, um, Eflin at home versus lefties, checking splits. So he pitches better at home. On the road, he pitches terrible, right? Um, hmm, where are they again? They're at home or on the road? Hmm, they're at home. Hmm. Let's take a look at something real fast. 2% walk rate. Now, we're going to see if you exercise this 2% walk rate versus this team when you got Judge out there walking and you got Soto out there walking. We're going to see how this 2% walk rate pan out with an 18% K rate, right? Yeah, we're going to see. Um, Definitely going to see. Has he faced this team? Let's see. He pitched good early. He pitched good versus them early. 6 shutout innings. Nice. He hasn't faced them lately. Lately, he's been giving up runs. 5 to Kansas City, blanked Washington. He gave up 4 to Pittsburgh, 3 to Atlanta. What's his expected numbers? His ERA sitting at 4.19 right now, expected 3.16. We'll see. We'll see, right? So at the end of the day, he's been looking okay. He's been looking okay. But at the end of the day, um, you know, this team could be heating up. Like I said, last week they looking good versus their pitch mix. They could be heating up again, right? They turned it off. It's been turned. They have been turned off lately, but they could be heating up again, right? And those are just the lefties, right? I think he's pitching his worst versus righties. Don't quote me on that. But at the end of the day, take a look and see what these righties look like here. Mm-hmm. Uh, Judge, Stanton, Judge, Volpe. What about the last 2 days? So I'll be looking at the lefties and shit. I'll be looking at those lefties right there. What about the last 2 weeks? Judge, no home runs versus this pitch mix last 2 weeks. K percentage is down. Only 15 plate appearances, I guess. I like the lefties there. I like the lefties there. We know who Judge is. We know what Judge can do, right? I probably want. I mean, Rice. I probably would rank him Rice, Soto. What shit? Go right back to the well with Rice with a bomb. Hits, runs, and RBIs. That's what I bet. I bet hits, runs, and RBIs. This right here. Uh, yeah. Damn. Oh, he did hit 3 home runs. I was gonna say 13 hits, runs, and RBIs. That motherfucker went crazy. He did hit 3 home runs that game. Mm, Soto. It's probably about time for Soto to smash one. Tomorrow I will have this shit. I will have this shit. I will be better tomorrow. I will. I don't have the time today. I will be better tomorrow though. I will have everything lined up more tomorrow. Um, I want to see something. Soto Soto got some weird ass splits. Damn, on the road versus lefties, he's batting 4.9. Shit. At home versus righties, low K percentage, we know that. Walk percentage is up to 20.2. Damn. The batting average 300. Slugging, OPS 1,000. Isolated power up 196 WRC plus 254 on the road to lefties. Interesting. Yeah. If did motherfucker swing the bat though, he'd be looking for them walks. I had to look at that because uh, Eflin not walking too many people. You've seen that walk percentage for him was 2%. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Alonso, but I'm torn between Alonso. Man, you can't be torn between that. Not going up against Corbin. Not going up against Corbin, bro. Not going up against Corbin, right? It's Patrick Corbin Day, right? Let's see. Let me touch on that game real quick. Let me touch on that game real quick. Patrick Corbin punk ass been good in certain instances, right? Oh shucks. I do got a model over here. I think I let this. I don't go off of that shit though. I have to do everything by hand, right? Let's see. He been cooking, ain't he? Little mother been taking my money, man. Straight up. Corbin has been cooking. That motherfucker been taking my money, man. Straight up. Straight up. I think let's see. Versus left hand pitcher. I think Mets finna get him. Mets finna get him. Mets finna get him. Versus lefties. Mets about to get him. Let me see something. New York Mets 21% K rate, 124 WRC plus versus lefties on the season. Mets finna go upside his fucking head today. Mm. Damn, their K rate is up. They seen somebody. Somebody came in and struck their ass out. 25% K rate with a 136 WRC plus in the last month. That's insane. Last 14 days. How many plate appearances? New York Mets, 154 plate appearances, 26% K rate, 142 WRC plus. That's insane. That's definitely insane. Corbin, right? I want to see something. Corbin, um, on the road. Nemo is cooking with grease, bro. He cooking with grease. Um, so he's got a thigh ERA on the home and the road and away. So whatever, right? Um, versus lefties, he got a 277 batting average. Versus righties, he got a 300 batting average. On the road versus lefties, 292. On the road versus righties, 331. Let me see his game log. I think they got to him like the second time around. Last time they just played, so they hit him for three bombs. The Mets they hit him for three home runs. So I remember this because I know he got to their ass. Three home runs, six earned runs. Right. Let me see what happened that game. I think Lindor smashed one on him. Torrens hit two home runs. Lindor smashed one. Yeah. Yeah. So one guy hit two home runs, the other guy hits. Everybody got a hit that game. They exercised on his ass. Everybody got a hit that game. Okay. They K percentage is up for some damn reason, man. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why the Mets K percentage is up. Let's take a look. Let's take an in-depth look real quick. Mm. So, right, they definitely did. They definitely did. So, whenever you facing a lefty, whenever you say facing a lefty, you need more sample size, right? You need more sample size. Like whenever you're facing a left hand pitcher, you need more sample size because you don't face lefties all the time. You know, so over the course of the last 2 months versus this pitch mix, it didn't even really matter to me personally because I know how bad this motherfucker is, right? So it's a few ways that you can attack this. You can look at if you're having trouble with bats and stuff like that, but you just know they're gonna get to them, shit like that. Look at team totals, right? Look at team totals. So, um, ah, why the fuck, bro? Why the fuck? My shit is still down. Let's see. Uh, how about let's look on DraftKings. Let's look at game props. Let's look at team totals, right? So, if you just know a certain team gonna score on them, just like I told y'all yesterday, Baltimore. I didn't bet it, but I didn't bet that, man. Baltimore, not Baltimore. I didn't bet that. I pointed out Boston. What they do? The ladder, man. The run score ladder, man. They put up 10 runs, man. I told you it was everything, all Boston. That's it, all Boston. I was at work. I bet all the hits, runs, and RBIs, but I didn't get a chance to live bet them, man. And I did do a parlay with the two RBIs parlay. I think two or three of those guys hit, but it wasn't supposed to hit. It was five legs. Long story short, um, team totals, right? Where were we? What game were we? Oh, the New York Mets, right? Right. So the Mets, the 4.5 is juiced up at a minus 165. So that's a lot. Where's 5.5? They totally skipped 5.5. Like what the fuck? Where the fuck is the 5.5 at? Am I seeing things or what? They got the 5.5 of them. Where's the 5.5 at? Y'all gotta watch that. Y'all gotta watch that. So the 5.5 runs would probably look okay. They did give them 6 runs last time they faced them. And where you standing in the face of me, and I didn't even take that home. Right, man. It should be crazy sometimes. So at the end of the day, just like I said, you can take team totals if you just know they're gonna put up runs, but you just don't know. That's a way to take team totals. Is a way to knowing they're gonna put up runs. You don't know who's gonna win, but you know they're gonna score. Shit like that. But as you can see right here, we over the course of the last few months, this pitch mix, this guy's been hitting right. I can go with 6 weeks or something like that, make it a little bit more, bring it in a little bit more, and they still look pretty good. The K percentages, those everybody's K percentages in the green. That's the last 6 weeks, though. You know what I'm saying? Those are right hand batters as well. Um, and like I said, when I bring it down to the last 4 weeks or something like that, it might change up. But for the most part, Lindor, look at Lindor versus this pitch mix. 7 at bats versus lefties. You don't see a lot of lefties. 5 hits though. 7 at bats, 5 hits, 714. Like, ooh, nasty, man. Tyrone Taylor and Lindor and Ventnos and, you know, I expect them to beat up on this guy. They better. You know what? I gotta take the sweeper out. Yeah. So even within the last 2 weeks, not a lot of plate appearances, but they all in the green, man. They all in the green, bro. They all in the green. You can look at the left hand batters here. Um, Looking at the left hand batters, uh, predominantly two pitches, man. Uh, Sinker and the slider. Over the course of a month, um, hmm, I mean, Nemo was 3 for 10 over the course of a month versus this pitch mix. What about maybe, uh, let's see, I will be looking at the righties. Last week, I mean, only one at bat for Nemo, like, whatever, right? So, and that's the thing you get with lefties. All these guys are in play still, though. All these guys are in play still, right? I'll be looking at those righties. I showed you guys those righties, all of them, man. All of them was green. All of them was green, man. I ain't gonna say you can't go wrong, but it just is what it is. Severino is another guy. I don't like to target Severino, man. I can see Severino going out here hitting his pitching outs. He's been doing good in that area. Um, if I'm mistaken, he's pitching his worst versus lefties. So you can probably look at CJ Abrams. CJ Abrams sold me yesterday. I'm a little bit mad at him. So I'm probably just gonna fall back from that, right? Um um I don't have time, right? So what I will say here is for the rest of them, the rest of these games, I'm gonna tell you guys who popped, right? I'm gonna use the model, okay? So let's see. So next game will be Los Angeles Dodgers and Philly, right? Now, between these two teams, The batters that popped: Trey Turner, Schwarber, Harper, followed by Will Smith, Shohei Ohtani, and Teoscar Hernandez. Okay, those the ones that popped: Trey Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Will Smith, Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez. Next game, Colorado and Cincinnati. Now this is just, you could just go back and research these, right? This I don't by any means, I don't go by these, but a lot of times I don't play them, and they get home runs, right? They get home runs, or they go ballistic, right? So Colorado and Cincinnati, at Cincinnati. Um, Spencer Steer. They really like Spencer Steer. They really like Ryan McMahon. Mm, let me see something. Hmm. Spencer Steer. Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie De La Cruz got 3 bombs. Let me see. Damn. Ellie De La Cruz. Spencer Steer. Stuart Fairchild. Ellie De La Cruz. Spencer Steer. I always like Candelario. India. I don't know what happened with India yesterday. Ellie De La Cruz. Mm. That boy be selling so fucking hard sometimes. Jesus Christ, man. Lane Thomas and Corey Seager. Mm. Fuck. Ellie De La Cruz. Look at that K rate. That motherfucker strikes the fuck out. Damn. Over the course of a month, Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer. So I guess that's one of their reasons. What else they had up there? Ryan McMahon. I need to see. So Ryan McMahon is 4 for 10 versus him with 4 for 10, two singles and two doubles. Maybe that was I don't know. Ryan McMahon does look good. Shout out to what's the name yesterday? He hit that bomb. Big time K rate though. All these guys striking out. Oh man, I lost money yesterday on the pitcher. I lost money on him yesterday. Toglia, McMahon. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. My fault. My fault. I had it mixed up. My fault. That's why. Okay. Yeah. McMahon. Yeah. McMahon, Toglia. All these three guys look pretty good. I would be looking at McMahon. 35 plate appearances. I'll be looking at McMahon. If I had to take one, I'll be looking at McMahon. All these Rockies will strike out. 5 home runs in a row versus righties. I'll be looking at McMahon. At least for a hit. None spectacular. Wait a minute. They got the pitching mixed up. They got the pitching mixed up. They got the pitching mixed up. So when that happens, because they don't even have Montas up there. So now I have to do this shit manually. I'm glad I caught that. So that four seamer is pitching that four seamer 38% of the time. Split finger 26. Uh, righty. So McMahon's got a 272 batting average versus that fastball. 2 home runs on that. Next thing he's throwing is that split finger. 26% of the time. He got a 175 batting average on that. I don't know about that split finger. He probably haven't seen that split finger. He's seen it a little bit. He's got a 267 batting average on it. What's the next pitch? The cutter. He's throwing that 20% of the time. McMahon's got 2 home runs versus Stat, 444 batting average. Big time slugging on that pitch. He would love to see that pitch. Um, no, wait a minute. That was Frankie Montas. Oh, that was Montas. You better not throw that shit. What is it, a cutter? You better not throw that shit. Oh, McMahon's got a 348 batting average versus that cutter. Yeah, he catch that cutter. You can kiss that motherfucker. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good riddance. So, um, and then you don't want to hang all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes you do want to cross reference it. Right here, this is, most of y'all know, I know, this is baseball savant. That's the end all be all for me right there. But at the end of the day, I do like Rand McMahon. You know what I'm saying? That's a bat right there, right? I got about 5 or 10 more minutes. Let me see. Um, Frankie Montas. Also, what was the next game? Oakland at Boston. Pavetta. I'm looking at Pavetta for strikeouts. Not even gonna worry about the. Not even gonna worry about the. Not even gonna worry about the bats. I ain't gonna worry about the bats right now. I'm looking at Pavetta for strikeouts. Right. He's got a 28% K rate. Going up against this team, we know. We know, right? If you know, you know, right? So at the end of the day, I'm looking at Pavetta for strikeouts here. Um, we got the top two strikeout teams on slate going up against some heavy strikeout pitchers. Okay, um, that's Seattle and that's Seattle and that's Oakland. Right. On the season, Oakland versus right-hand pitching 27%, K rate 93 WRC plus. Last 30 days versus right-hand pitching, Oakland number two, 28% K rate, 99 WRC plus. K rate is still up there. Last 2 weeks, number two. Guess that both of these motherfuckers, number one and number two, Seattle and Oakland, right? 27% K rate. So, um, without further ado, save a little time on that one. I know I'm looking at strikeouts for that one. Probably get to some bats, but I'll look at some bats a little later on. And to keep it moving, um, I mean, you got Brandon Hoying, you got Framber Valdez here. Right off the back, I already know I'm be end up looking at least looking at Framber Valdez for pitching outs, right? So um, I'll at least be looking at him for pitching outs. Going up against this team, um, Framber Valdez, the hard hit percentage is up, man. So he can very well get his ass cracked. He's giving up a lot of hard hit balls. Pause. But you know the deal. His pitching gap's probably come out around 17 and a half at the very least. Uh, I don't think he's faced this Miami team this season yet, but he's frequently hit him most of the time. His pitching outs, strikeouts could be in play. Put it into context for you guys, for pitching outs, I do like to look at WRC plus a lot, and 100 is like baseline, right? WRC plus. So over the course of the season, Miami has a 21% K rate with a 69 WRC plus. That's extremely terrible, right? Uh, that's on the season. What about last 30 days? We're looking at Miami striking out a little bit more. They've reached the top 10 at 24.7 with a 76 WRC plus. That's bad. That's bad. Um, what was that? The last 30 days? How about the last 2 weeks? Probably not a big sample size, but Miami 113 plate appearances, 85 WRC plus. I mean, it is what it is. How's Framber doing? Let's take a look and see how Framber's doing. Framber, his splits. He's at home. He's pitching. He's neutral, whatever the case may be. At home in the road, 3.7, whatever. Now, here's the catch. The kicker in general. Um, he's pitching his worst versus left-hand batters. He's got a 340 left hand batting average versus lefties. That's the kicker. So if you want to get scared of whatever the case may be, he'll be at home. At home versus lefties, he's got a 316 batting average. Right. So lefties are hidden and getting to him. Okay, so if we want to take a little leap into this one, because I haven't looked, so I definitely want to take a leap to see who we got. We got Framber, the sinker. Jazz Chisholm hit a leadoff bomb yesterday. He could be hot. So versus this pitch mix, over the last course of the month here, as you can see, everybody has been striking out versus it. Okay, everybody in significance that he'll see been striking out versus this pitch mix. I don't know what his pitch strikeout is going to look like, so let's take a look real quick. Those are just the lefties though, and he's pitching his worst versus lefties, so that's something to think about. Nick Pavetta K's is at 6.5. I like that, and we'll think about going up on that. Framber Valdez K's is at 5.5. Is at 5.5. Let me take one intermission and run a quick check on Pavetta real fast. I don't have to run a quick check on him. I don't. I'm going to him. So, his ceiling this year has been 10 Ks. He just gave Miami 10 Ks. So yeah, I'll definitely try to ladder him up. If I lose, I lose. It is what it is. I ain't tripping. As long as we make the right read. Pavetta and Michael King, two top strikeout pitchers today. Okay, the top two strikeout pitchers today. Um, Back to where we were, right? Framber Valdez and these lefties. Okay, from Miami. Over the course of a month, not big time sample sizes, but um, Jazz Chisholm's batting 300 versus that pitch mix. But like I said, you're not going to have a big sample size messing around with lefties because you don't see lefties as often as you see righties, right? So at the end of the day, I won't be betting on none of these guys. I ain't even gonna lie. Maybe a Jazz Chisholm, but I won't be betting on none of them. Sanchez, over the last 2 months is a big sample size here to let you know who's doing what, really. And versus this pitch mix, Sanchez is batting 300, Jazz Chisholm is batting 300, and extra base hits 4 and 5, and both of these guys got two home runs off of it in that time span, 2 months. Um, Only 34 plate appearances. That's pretty okay. That's pretty cool, But that's cute. It is what it is. But like I said, if Framber's going to be giving up to lefties, it's going to be Josh Bell. It's going to be Jazz Chisholm. It's going to be Jesus Sanchez. You know, that's just it is what it is. If you think if you think these guys are going to um, keep this game close or whatever, or put up runs, those will probably be the guys that do it, right? So it is what it is. I ain't gonna look at the Astros bats. I'm gonna just keep it moving. I got 5 more minutes for you with you guys. Pittsburgh Pirates and Milwaukee Brewers. Martin Perez. What I do know about Martin Perez, I think he gives it up to lefties, right? So let's take a quick drive by. You know what? Let's take a quick drive by over here. I want to take a guess to see if my knowledge is still where it's supposed to be. Um, Martin Perez is giving up a 300 batting average to lefties. So that just further lets you know that going up against this Milwaukee team, you know, you're going to have terrain, you're going to have uh, Yelich. Uh, he's doing a sinker 60% of the time. Sinker, cutter, fastball. And versus that pitch mix, these guys ain't been looking super good. K percentage is down. 20. Christian Yelich and Bryce Terang had the most sample size at 20 plate appearances, but I mean, uh, I don't know, right? Let me see. Last 2 months, bigger sample size. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. What about Brian Reynolds? Just been too cold. That boy is too good. Brewers and Pittsburgh, right? So, oh yeah, that's right. I'm tripping, right? William Contreras. William Contreras. William Contreras. He's my guy. So, um, William Contreras is that K rate. He's not striking out. Let's get this out the way, right? Only 10 plate appearances. Like I said, small sample size. But versus this pitch mix, he is batting 500. He does have 3 extra base hits with a home run. Keep in mind, this is a lefty, so you don't see a lot of lefty bats. I can extend this out to maybe over the course of 2 months. His numbers probably look better, but it's still good. 26 at bats, 11 hits, 423 batting average, 4 extra base hits, 2 home runs, 19% K rate, 11% barrel rate. Like, yeah, I like that, right? Um, some of these righties up here looking pretty good. Okay, um, so Wilson Contreras would be that guy for me. Okay, Wilson Contreras would be. And then the pitcher is pitching his worst to lefties. So the lefties are going to get a personal bump, right? You got what's the name pitching his worst to lefties. So the pitcher's going to get a bump. I mean, the left hand batter's going to get a bump. We already know William Contreras and Wilson Contreras, they brothers, they hit lefties really, really well. We know this, right? William and Wilson, we know this already. Their brother plays for the Cardinals. At the end of the day, that's what I'm looking at right there. That's what I'm looking at. William Contreras will be my bat right there. Hits, runs, and RBIs all the way up to a home run. So it is what it is. Just in those regards. The pitch that he probably really, really likes. Let's take a look. What do I have up here? He's throwing that sinker the most. So let's see. He's throwing that sinker the most. Color change up. See how that affects things. So the sinker is the most pitch he's throwing, and he's throwing that at 30% of the time. How about the last 4 weeks? Right. So uh, sinker and then the change up in there. Sinker and the change up. Well, and the color, he looks good. He looks good. I can't, you know, I can't talk you off of it. I like him. Next game, um, Texas and um, Los Angeles. I'm gonna go to the model here and see what they like. Angels and the Rangers. Corey Seager, Marcus Seaman, Adolis Garcia. Marcus Seaman, Corey Seager is 2 for 8 versus him. Marcus Seaman is 6 for 24 with 4 singles and 2 home runs. Garcia is 3 for 9 with 2 home runs. So the bats here I'll be looking at, but yeah, Seager, Simeon, and Garcia. Michael Lorenzen. This team is batting 212 versus him, 7 for 33. So I'll be looking at those guys for right now. I didn't do a deep dive, but that's what the model like. Now I'll go back and I'll backtrack the model and do some personal research on that while I'm at home. Next game would be, while I'm at work. Next game would be the Braves and Arizona Diamondbacks, which would Charlie Morton and Slade Ciccone, right? I definitely want to look into this one, but at the end of the day, I gotta go, right? And I'll have this shit laid out next time, right? I just didn't have time last night. Um, so how they listed the bats? They listed, and I have to go ahead and look at shit, right? I'm not that big on Charlie Morton in most instances, but they listed Austin Riley, Ozuna, then Olson. Then the next two bats came from Arizona, which would be Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker. Christian Walker is 4 of 9 versus him with a bomb. As a team overall, uh, this team is 15 to 70 versus Charlie Morton, good for a 214 batting average. So you know it is what it is, right? Um, Last game, Toronto Blue Jays, San Francisco 49ers. Giants. I'm sorry. We got Webb on the mound, and we got Bassett on the mound. Right off the back, I'm gonna have interest in Webb's pitching outs. To tell you the truth, don't know where they're gonna come out. If they're gonna come out of the parlay piece, I'll take a look. Although he has been getting hit hard lately, 48.6. Walks are down. K percentage is down, whatever the case may be, average or whatever. But I'll tell you what the model looking at here. Um, the Giants. Let's see, the Giants and uh, Toronto. So not too. they don't too much like the bats, right? If Lamonte Wade Jr. is in there, then he's in play. Ramos, he's my guy. If he's in there, he's in play. Vladdy, if he's in there, he's in play, right? I'll be looking at, if I had to look at two bats, it would be Ramos or would be Vladdy. So let me take a look at, before I get out of here, let me take a look at, uh, first and foremost, let's take a look at Chris Bassett, right? I got to go back to the well on Ramos because he hit that bomb for my Dinger Tuesday yesterday. I like that. I needed that. That was a plus, shit, that was plus 500, I think. Five something. I'll put 25 on that. Nah, what did I get back? 100 and what? I don't know. So, on the road. So, Bassett's pitching his worst on the road versus lefties with a 309 batting average, right? And that explains why Lamonte Wade Jr. was up there. So if Lamonte Wade Jr. is up there, I'll be ready to bet on him. If he's playing, I'll be ready to bet on him. Lamonte Wade Jr. So keep an eye out for Lamonte Wade Jr. Um, Before I leave this one, let me see. Ramos at home versus right hand pitching. So he's got a 27% K rate. He will strike out. 300 batting average. Slugging and all his numbers. These are numbers are down for him. One of his worst splits at home versus righties. He got a 400 batting average versus lefties in general, just off the rip. Wow, interesting. That's crazy. Um, yeah. So uh, Lamonte Wade Jr. and I would probably say Vladdy, man. And the lefties get a bump. The lefties get a bump. But I probably won't even mess with Vladdy. I don't know. Lamonte Wade Jr. Hmm. Lamonte Wade Jr. He don't play that much, man. And he just came back from injury. But I know how active he can get. He can get busy. I just want to see if he's gonna be in the lineup. Lamonte Wade ain't been playing, man. He's got a three. He got 300 batting average. He ain't been playing though. Let's see, of course, 8 weeks. His batting average goes up to 350, but still, he only got 14 plate appearances. But at the end of the day, I will like him. I will like him if he plays. So, that just about sums it up, man. Tomorrow I'll have it laid out. I'm going over this shit for the first time myself. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, tomorrow we'll have this shit laid out better. Y'all know how I do it, right? Um, but at the end of the day, take what you like, leave what you don't. Um, them first games, I didn't even really fuck with them first games. I'm a little bit more focused on those later round games. Uh, and that game is about to come on in 20 minutes. So 20 minutes. I can give you guys. I definitely don't. That Minnesota game. I'm fading that game. The first one. I'm fading that first one. So for this Kansas City game, the Confronto. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. I seen Confronto in there. Let's see. For whoever's here, drop a like for me, bro. Drop a like for me. Confronto is in play. It's in play. Definitely is. As you can see, Lamonte Wade just got back. I don't know, man. He's probably got one hit, and that was an extra base hit versus pitch mix. He hasn't played many games, but he's still in the green. Conforto, um, he's going to be in play because, like I said, he's going to be in play because, like I said, he he's pitching his worst to lefties. So no matter what the batting averages and shit like that look for the lefties, they gonna get a little bit of bump from the pitcher. They gonna get a little bit of bump from the pitcher. They gonna get a little bit of bump from the pitcher, right? So there it is right there. Because Bassett got a 300 batting average versus lefties on the road. So he got a 300 batting average. Right now, I'll be on Wade if he starts or whatever. And the rest of the lefties get a bump. Rest of the lefties get a bump. Now this rewind it back to this first game because I done blow y'all ass out, right? Rewind it back to this first game. I'll go back to this first game for y'all, which would be this St. Louis game, right? Since that was getting ready to come on in a couple minutes, I'll go back to that one. And I didn't pull this one up on screen and show you guys what I seen, right? Um, St. Louis, Alec Marsh going up against St. Louis versus the lefties. Mm, and I had who I had penciled in. I had Alec Burleson penciled in, right? Okay. Now, uh, um, yeah. So he got a 10% K rate. Good. I mean, if you just look, even if you look for a hit or something like that, that's all I had him up there for. You know what I'm saying? He does have a bomb. Got a couple extra base hits. He's batting 314. They don't strike out versus that pitch mix. I like it. Guys who don't strike out, look and see where the lineup at. You know what I'm saying? Who's where they line up at, and let's see where they line up at because you can tell. You know, so Wilson Contreras will be right there. With Contreras and Goldsmith, they in RBI spots, right? They in RBI spots right off the back. So we'll look at the right hand batters now. Uh, I gotta go through this one real quick because I might do a little SGP for this one. Let's look at the righties, right? Um, Now Wilson Contreras, he's got two bombs, two home runs, 296 batting average, 33% K rate though. He will strike out. Um, Mason Wynn, he's batting 290, 279, right? With a 15% K rate, right? Then you got Goldsmith up there. Now Goldsmith got 49 at bats, 10 hits, but he's got three home runs. His average is down. This is what I was saying. The power is still there. The power is still there for Goldsmith. He got in the last 2 months, he got three home runs versus pitch mix. The hard hit, 50% and 60% for Wilson Contreras, even though Goldsmith, his average, he could be getting hot. That don't, you know what I'm saying? You got to look at the whole picture. He could be having a bad start to the season. At the end of the day, though, he's got 200 batting average, but the power is still there. He got three bombs. He got 13 hard hit and five balls launched. Okay, so the power is still there. Wilson Contreras, the strikeouts are there for both of them, but if they get a hold to that motherfucker, whatever pitch they're looking for, if they get a hold to it, then you can just about kiss that motherfucker goodbye. Okay, and that's versus this pitch mix in general. Um, that's the last month. What? Maybe the last 3 weeks might look better, might not. Um, you know, Wilson Contreras looks good. He will strike the fuck out as of late, but his rhythm and timing and everything might be off because he was hurt. All right, last 2 weeks, um, down here, the last 7 days down here, you can see Wilson Contreras and Arenado. That's just the last 7 days. 6 or 7 at bats. They looked okay. You know, some of the old men starting to come around, Arenados and Contrerases and Goldsmiths, whatever the case may be. But last 2 weeks, Goldsmith is in the red. You know, but the hard hit and all that shit is still there. So you know, that's just like, don't get it twisted. You know, we will still knock one out the park on your ass. And you know, when you got Mason Wynn and Alec Burleson not striking out, getting on base with a 270 average or better, those be, like I said, those be RBI spots for Wilson Contreras, who's hitting behind these two. Goldschmidt, who's hitting behind these three at cleanup. So that's how you try to figure shit out. Those are RBI spots and shit like that. These guys here, your one hitter, getting on base all the time, runs, runs. You can take it for 1 run, take it for 2 runs, depending on who pitching. You know what I'm saying? If you expect traffic and shit to be on the bases. Now on the flip side, we're looking at KC. Um, KC is an interesting case um, because let's see, who the fuck is pitching? Palante. All right, this was a double hitter. Right. Okay. Let me go over this one here so I can get out of here. Palante. Hmm. Where the fuck is he at? There you go. Okay. Um, he's sinker heavy right now. So right now we're looking versus Fridays, Kansas City. So over the course of the last month, Bobby Witt Jr. 14 hard hit balls, three of them launched, eight extra base hits, one home run over the course of a month, 54 at bats, 15 hits, good for 278 batting average. Hard hit is up there at 51. Line drive is 26%. Fly ball rate is only, I mean, it's around 28, right? So, um, that's over the course of a month. Salvador Perez, 250 batting average. Isolated power was up. Extra velo was up. Extra base hits four, along with three bombs. Right. The closer you get, the closer you get. Like you can see right here, the last 7 days, Renfro and Bobby Witt look good. They could be heating up. Who knows? As you move closer in, you start to get guys like Hunter Renfro entering the chat. Right. 273 batting average. His batting average is going up. Last 2 weeks, his batting average probably hits around 300, right? So over the course of the last few weeks, oh, I must have read that wrong, right? Let me see, last 2 weeks here. Let's see. Renfro. So the last 2 weeks, Renfro has been looking good versus this pitch mix. He just goes from a low 200s all the way to a 385, 13 at bats, 5 hits, three extra base hits, one home run. You know, his numbers, is all these motherfuckers, the last 2 weeks versus this pitch mix, they ain't been striking out. So either they've been hot or whatever. And, you know, they've been hot or whatever, right? So at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? The lefties here, I told you I was looking at Pasquantino, right? And MJ Melendez too, but you know, he's throwing that fastball 75% of the time to lefties, right? 75% of the time to lefties. 75% of the time. And then a knuckle curve, which doesn't matter at all. So Vinny Pasquantino, um, he looked okay, you know, over the course of a month there. Vinny Pasquantino, he looked okay. I mean, and MJ Melendez looked okay too. But the thing about Melendez was he had a big ass 36% K rate. But the hard hit rate, look, the hard hit rate was 90. Like, what the fuck was he? Where's he got in his back? So Melendez, you know, you never know, man. You might see something and be like, he said Melendez. No, I didn't really say Melendez, but you know, his isolated power is down, though. You know what I'm saying? A hit, maybe strikeouts, yes, please. Vinny Pasquantino, strikeouts, not even 10%, right? So his chances of getting on base is a little bit more higher, right? So it is what it is. At the end of the day, take what you like, leave what you don't. Tomorrow I'll be more prepared, man. I just like to show people, you know, y'all know what I like to do, man. I like to help. At the end of the day, peace out, man. Peace out, man. Peace out. Peace out. He said some bats. He said some bats. I'll probably drop some. If y'all follow me, if y'all on my Facebook page or some shit, y'all will see. Y'all will see. Y'all will see, fam. But these early games, I'm probably leaning back off of them, right? I probably will. I might do a hit parlay for this one. What I got? 5 minutes. I'm a little bit more focused on. I got 12 minutes. I'm a little bit more focused on the other games, man. The later games. So it is what it is. So that second Kansas City game. Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna be looking at runs in that one. Um, I'm gonna drop something though. I'm gonna drop something later on. I'm gonna drop something later on. I'm gonna do what I got. 10 minutes. I'm probably gonna do something for this game, but I'll see. All right. All right. At the end of the day, peace out, man. Peace out.